If you're tired of having low average tickets and feel like you have to compete on price for every job that you go to, this video is for you because we're going to talk about how you can sell your services as a luxury brand and get higher average tickets and have people dying to be working with you and still charge more than your competition in the area. Let's break this one down. Most people are out there competing on price. They're gonna try and be the lowest to get the job and get a customer and build the schedule. We don't compete on price, we compete on value. There's so many companies out there doing exactly what you're doing. It's hard to differentiate yourself just based off of price. I can go sell a service for $500 and another company can go to the same exact service for $250. Why would you wanna work with me if I'm 2 times the price? I wouldn't tell you exactly why. It's all about the value stack. And this initially begins with that first contact when a customer reaches out. First, you've got to answer the phone. If you're not answering the phone, you've already lost that battle. So it's extremely important that if you're doing any marketing, if you're trying to do any type of sales, that if that phone is going to ring, you're immediately going to answer that phone within the first couple of rings. I cannot tell you how many business owners that we talk to and how many business owners I have actually called myself that don't even answer the phone. And they're usually the first ones to complain that say that they're not busy. Well, if you're not even answering the phone, how are you going to get the customer to talk to you to try and even sell them? So you need to make sure that you are answering that phone. Whether it's you hire somebody internally in your admin team, you got a strategic partner from Unique Genius, or you're using AI and you are talking to another client or you're out in the field doing the job, that phone is not going to voicemail. And you calling that client back an hour later or when it's convenient for you does not constitute you answering the phone. And it's so important for you to understand that for every missed phone call, you missed an opportunity to sell your average ticket. If your average ticket is $1,200, just think about that. Your average ticket is $1,200, your closing percentage is 50%. If you miss 4 phone calls, you missed out on $2,400 of opportunity to work with your clients. So before we even dial into the value stack, you need to make sure that phone is answered. And if you tell me you can't afford it, I promise you can't afford not to hire somebody because you're already missing out on opportunities. All right, so first, we got that phone ring and we need to be positive. We need to be excited. We cannot be monotone. We cannot wear our sleeves on our emotions when we answer that phone. We need to be so excited that that customer doesn't even think about the price when you're gonna tell them that's a $10,000 job. They don't care because they already know you answer the phone, you had a positive attitude, and you're there to solve their problems. 3 things right there that you can be doing on an initial phone call. Hey, this is JC. Thanks for calling Cape Fear Pro Wash. How can I make your property shine today? I'm excited. They can feel it in my tone. I'm smiling. And I didn't just say, hi, this is JC. No, how can I make your property shine today? Yes, you're calling to get your house cleaned, or you're calling to get lights put on your house, or whatever the service is. Tie something into that to make you sound different. So we got the phone call, we answered it, we greeted them, and now we want to do the interrogation. Why are they calling? Why do they need your service? If they weren't just bored, they didn't just happen to see a flyer or a yard sign say, hey, let me call your company and just have a conversation. No, there's a need for a reason for them to want to call you. They either need your services right now, or they know they're going to need you in the near future, and you have to solve their problem. So we want to do some questions. First, make sure they're a good fit. We got to pre-qualify them, right? What if they're not a good fit? What if somebody's calling you and they're in a different state? Are we going to waste 20 minutes on the phone with them just to get to, hey, can I get your address, and find out you live 4 states away, we don't even service you? No. So we got to make sure that we're friendly, but we pre-qualify them to make sure that they're a good fit for us and we're a good fit for them. Again, we are not selling on cheap prices. We are selling on our value, and our customers are going to know during that phone call that we're not the cheapest, because when we pre-qualify them, we're going to let them know what our minimum package starts at and what our average ticket is. Just because we have a $1,000 starting price, that doesn't mean they're going to get only $1,000 to do whatever the service is. Our average ticket for lighting, for seasonal lighting, is $2,200, and we tell them that right away. This way, if they know hey, my budget's only $300, well, great, we're not for you, but let me give you somebody who can work with your budget. It's not us, but we'll make sure that somebody tries to take care of you. So we want to give them the information that makes sure that they're going to feel safe safe. We're not sending somebody out there, spending an hour, driving and talking to the client and realize that, hey, we are just not even in the same ballpark when it comes to the services that we offer. So again, we're going to talk about the pre-qualifying, tell them about our minimum price. Our prices start at, I like to say, we tell them what the average ticket. So, all right, we got that buffer zone. Hey, this is something we could work with. Perfect. And then we're going to ask the questions. Why do you need the services done? Have you ever had this type of work done? Maybe they worked with the company previously and we could start digging in and find out, hey, why aren't you using the company that you used last year? Well, they're out of business, or, they just did a lot of damage to our property. And we take the notes. When we send the salesman out there, they have the notes and they can talk to Mary like, Mary, hey, how you doing today? So great. Start building that reputation with them. And like, oh, I see you last time that the guys were out here and they did damage to your home. Tell me more about that. We want to make that customer feel safe. We're listening. We're having the conversation. They feel heard. And when the salesperson goes out there, they're having the same conversations. And the notes are in there for the technicians. When they go out there, they can continue to have that same conversation so that that person feels safe, knowing that you're listening and you're going to give the best value for the price. Because again, we're not competing on price. We're competing on value. So we answer the phone. We ask the questions. We pre-qualify them. We're going to send the technician or the salesperson out there. Again, another layer of adding value. We're not just going to give a quote over the phone. It's too easy to do that. Everybody's doing that. Mike's doing that. Mary's doing it. Joe's doing it. They've got 3 quotes for $300 and you go out there and you got a $900 quote. Why are you so high? Well, we also walked around the property. We talked about some issues that were concerns. We realized that the gutters were dirty and we didn't talk about the gutters on the phone. So we added that service to them that she didn't even know she needed. We explained the whole process. We talked about what the technicians are going to do. Again, value stack. So many companies doing the same thing. How are we different? Oh, cool. We have a uniform. They have a uniform. They have a wrapped vehicle. We have a wrapped vehicle. But now we're different because we're here and we're on your property. We're talking. We're taking notes. We're taking pictures. We're hearing the conversations. We're having the hard conversations to make sure they know that they're getting the Lambo, not the Pinto. All right. Again, value stack. And I like to repeat myself a lot of times on the phone call, the initial phone call. Talk about your company. Talk about why you're different. When you're out there in person, again, for pressure washing, we talk about the planned and property protection, that our technicians are going to come to your house. They're going to take pictures. They're going to do a damage assessment to make sure that there's nothing that we didn't miss when we did the estimate. They're going to tape off all your keyholes, your doorbells, any cameras, things like that. All these things that can set that customer's peace at mind, knowing that, hey, they are 2 times the price of everybody else, but holy cow, I'm getting so much value and they've been in business for 17 years that I know that I don't have to make this transition next year to go find another company because they went out of business too. We're making them feel safe. We're making them feel comfortable. We're making them feel heard. So all these different things that you're doing at these estimates, it's so important. How about you walk around the property before you even go and knocking on a door and just look around and see maybe there's some damage. Maybe there's something they didn't know about. Maybe you go in there and be like, hey, my name is JC with Cape Fear Pro. I just happened to be walking around your property. And did you know that the gutter back there behind building 404 is damaged and there's water just coming out of the downspout where it shouldn't be? I don't know if you know it. I got some pictures right here. I can just send you an email with all the pictures so this way you have it. All I'm doing is providing value to them right now, right? I'm not trying to sell them anything, but now they know like, hey, this guy just did me a huge favor. Like I'm so busy. I would have never known. It's probably creating some damage back there and havoc. So all I did was walk in, introduce myself, let them know about some potential damage or hazard that could have got a tenant hurt or something like that. If you could add value without trying to sell, is also another great piece of advice to get your foot in the door for commercial properties. All right, so we talked about answering the phone. Super important. Please, please, please do not skip this. I'm telling you right now, you can't afford to not have somebody answer the phone. Whether it's somebody in person, a virtual assistant, AI, there's plenty of options for you to do it very affordably right now. Got that done. The phone's answered. We talked about the value. We talked about the pre-qualified. We went out, got the estimate out there. That's so important. You're there. You're talking to the client. You've heard them. You've heard their concerns. You've heard their needs. You've heard their wants. Why are you going to walk away without presenting the price? Are you scared? Are you scared that your price is so high that they're going to laugh at you? That they're going to tell you to get off their property? No, you need to be confident in that price. If you are not confident in selling something 3 to 4 times higher than your competition in the area, then why are you doing it? Don't just do it to try and get your price out. You got to have purpose behind it. Again, we got the value. We're going to talk about all the things we're doing, but you need to present that estimate while on site. Now, some industries can be very technical. I get it. There's a lot of things that go into an estimate. You need to get price for materials, but if you can, and you have a system system down where you can come up with the price within the 15 minutes of walking around the house and getting everything, you need to present it. If you get inside the door and sit down with the customer in the kitchen, you've already won. I like to bring a lookbook. It's a tangible lookbook, and I hand it to the customer. It's like, here's some examples of some jobs we've done in the past. Why don't you take this while I walk around and get your estimate all ready? You look at this, and when I'm done, we'll come back inside and we'll talk about that. They got that book. They're inside. They're flipping through the pages. I'm going to ring on the door after I'm done doing my estimate. The book's inside. Let's go inside and look at that book and see if you have any questions. I'm telling you, if you get your foot in that door, you've already won. Do not be afraid to ask to come inside, and do not be afraid to give the price on site. There's going to be oftentimes where there's a price objection. Well, the other guys are doing it for half the price. Why should I go with you? This is your time to sit down and go over everything. I want to repeat everything we've already talked about. I want to repeat the value stack, the technicians, what they're doing, the plan of property protection, the guys going out there, looking around, doing the services, doing the follow-up pictures, bringing the customers out at the end to make sure everything's happy, the 100% customer satisfaction, all the things that we could talk about to set ourselves apart from being different from the guys charging half the price. Are you with me? Are we going to go ahead and do this? We're going to ask for the sale right there. We got to ask for the close. I'm telling you, if you go ahead and present it, and when you talk to them, go through everything. So Mary, we talked about doing the house wash. We talked about that roof. That roof is really dirty. I'm telling you, if we get that roof clean, it's going to bring back its natural beauty. Your house is going to look brand new from top to bottom. The exterior of the gutters. We're going to clean that concrete so it's no longer slippery. You said you had a concern, and one time it was slippery, you almost fell. We don't want that anymore. We're going to clean that safely so there's never an issue that when it's raining, you have to worry about getting in your vehicle and slipping. Again, it was something they brought up to me. I was listening. I want to repeat it so she knows that we heard her. And I'm like, Mary, I've got a deal for you today. If we can get all these done today with the discount, the price is going to be only $2,400. She's like, what? Only $2,400, right? We're putting words in the head. It's only $2,400. Everything I was doing was listing. It was like probably $3,000 worth of services, but we gave her the bundle discounts and we're able to get everything only $2,400, right? So now she's saying, it's like, oh wow, you're right. That's a lot for only $2,400. So words matter and confidence matters. If you went in there and said the roof and the roof is like, to be about $1,200 and the house is, another $600 and the gutters, like there's no confidence there. Like, would you buy from yourself or you're just spitting off and like not confident in your prices? No, you need to be confident. You are the highest, you have the best value, and we're not going to discount our prices. We did the bundle discount. We have multiple services there. She had 3 or 4 services, so we can afford to do the discount. The guys are doing out there, they're going to do one job that day and make $2,400. That's a great day, but don't discount your services because they want a discount. Like, hey, I just want to get my house washed. Can you give me a 20% discount? No. What we'll do is we'll add a couple more services and then discount it. Or, hey, you wanted to stay within the $2,000. We're at $2,400. Why don't we go ahead and take off the gutters now? We'll get the price down to $2,000. And when you're ready, we'll come back out there and do the gutters. But don't just sit there and discount your services because then they feel like you already cheated them. You're already 2x the prices, but now you discounted $800 and you almost close them at what it is. So like, which is it? Are you the best or are you just charging the most and giving the best discounts? So again, you have to have price confidence when you go in there and you talk to those clients and make them feel confident that you are the best choice. I can't tell you how many reviews that we get, and the client will literally write in the review, they were not the cheapest company, but that is such a good feeling to know that, hey, they didn't go with the cheapest company. That's right, because we talked about the value. We talked about how we're different. We talked about being the luxury brand for them. They don't want the cheapest. They want the best. They want the peace of mind. Now, some people, very price conscious. It doesn't matter what you try and sell them. They just want the cheapest. Great. You're not for me. That's fine. Let them go. I'm telling you, there's going to be 2 more fish, 3 more fish that you're going to find. They're going to do 2x of what they wanted to spend with you anyway. So don't feel like you have to sell yourself short and be the cheapest person and discount your prices every single time. So let's recap real quick. 1, we got to make sure we're answering that phone. If that phone's going to voicemail, you've already lost. 2, pre-qualify them. Make sure they're a good fit. Again, some people are out there for the cheapest service possible. That's fine. They're not for us. But if you are for us, great. We want to pre-qualify. We want to listen. Make sure we're hearing the concerns, why they want the services done. Is it something they need done now? Is it something that they need done next month? Is there urgency? Put the notes in your CRM so that when your salesperson goes out there, they have the notes and they can just go through it and read the notes and bring up the conversation so that they know that whoever answered the phone was listening. Great. You guys not only answered the phone, but you heard my concerns, and now you have somebody here because the last 2 people just sent me a price over the phone and they didn't even address half the things I wanted. So we're already ahead of things. So we're in person, we're doing the value value stack. We're hearing the concerns. We're building that relationship. We're going to point out any deficiencies, anything that's wrong, anything they didn't know about, talk about all the services we offer. Again, they don't know everything you do. If you offer window cleaning, concrete coating, permanent lighting, Christmas lighting, roof coating, whatever it is, talk about it. Just walk around. Now, obviously, if they don't have gutters, don't talk about gutters. All right, let's not waste some time. But let's talk about the things that we know that they can need or possibly need in the future. And this way they're aware, oh, I didn't know you do that. I hear that all the time. I didn't know you did that. Well, that's bad on us because obviously we need to fix something on our website or some form of marketing, but it's also an opportunity for us to offer that service, and you're doing the client a service. Like if they need gutters and they didn't know you do gutters and you don't offer gutters, well, they might have you do the house wash and they're going to call somebody else to do the gutters and you just lost out on $250 because you didn't bring it up. So it's important that you talk about it, have it in your marketing materials. Maybe they didn't know about that, but if you put it in the estimate and now hey, we got the window cleaning, we got the gutter cleaning, we got the concrete cleaning, we got the house wash, we got the roof rejuvenation, all the different things in there. And then we do a bundle discount. Like, our guys are on site because they're going to do so many services in one day. It's going to save us a trip from coming out here multiple times. We're going to be able to offer you a discount and we can get everything done for only $2,400. And then just shut up and listen and be the luxury brand. All right. I hope you got some value from this. This isn't easy. This is not something you're going to just do overnight. You're not going to flip the switch and have success in this, but start answering the phone and just role play. AI is a great tool too. You can start doing some role playing with AI, get on there, just make up different avatars for customers. Some that you see out there, some of the disc profiles, the D's, the I's, the S, the C's. How can you get through these questions? How can you overcome the objections of price? How can you overcome the objection of whatever it is? You got to get role playing. You got to start doing it. You got to get out there. I'm telling you right now, repetition, 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 and being confident in your services. Don't second guess yourself. Don't assume that this person can't afford your services, and don't assume that person will afford your services, because there's multiple times where we've been to multi-million-dollar houses and try to sell our average ticket and they laugh at us. And then we've gone to homes that are half the price and they're spending 2x of what we asked that person prior to do. So don't assume, get out there, have fun, and be sure to subscribe. We got a bunch of awesome videos coming out. I want to make sure that you're getting the alerts when they're coming out there so you can check out the videos. So go ahead and drop a comment. What are you doing in your business right now to be the luxury brand and set yourself apart from the competition? Love to hear from you. Take care.